Hello everybody, I am Miranda and this is May Yoga. If this is your first time practicing with me, please look in the description below this video. You will find a link to a separate video called Tips for a Safe Yoga Practice. Please watch that. It's full of good advice for you if you are just starting any kind of yoga practice, and I would really appreciate it. Okay, take care of yourself always in every practice. Today's practice, we are going to be doing a very gentle restorative day kind of thing. So I have several students over the years that have either been recovering from an illness or an injury, or just trying to get back into yoga after taking an extended break. And I developed these sort of practice flows to kind of help them be a little bit more gentle with their body. And I've had some requests to do this more restorative, gentle yoga practice for a video. So that's what I'm going to do today. If you are new to yoga, this would also be a nice one for you to try out. Or if you just feel like having a gentle day and you just want to take it easy, go ahead and try this one for you. Okay, so prop wise, of course, our number one prop is always that lovely bottle of water, glass of water that you might need throughout the practice. Our other prop today that I would recommend you having is a pillow. We're going to be using this to kind of cushion the knees when we go down into a Warrior One variation in the Surya Namaskar flow. And it's always nice to have that pillow anyway nearby, especially when we're doing a relaxed sequence, to just kind of give yourself that little buffer, that little extra bit of comfort that you can bring into your practice. So if you don't have a pillow like this, you can always use a folded up blanket or even a nice comfy beach towel. All right, so just to begin, as we do with our yoga practices, we're going to find a nice comfortable seated position. I'm just practice my lotus pose, but you could just do a cross-legged pose here, either way you like. Getting somewhere where you can have those sit bones connected to the ground. You can be sitting up nice and tall. Your arms are relaxed at your side, palms facing up or down, whatever is more comfortable for you. And opening those shoulders a bit, dropping the chin down, closing the eyes here, and begin to draw attention to the breath, thinking about slowing down each inhale, maybe holding it for a moment at the top of that inhale, and then making an even, steady exhale. Holding at the bottom of that breath for a moment. Just doing a few cycles till you're imagining you're a little balloon on that inhale, everything filling up. And on the exhale, gently releasing, settling in. If you would like to create an intention for today's practice, perhaps it is a goal that you have, a personal goal for yourself, or a wish that you have for another person, or an animal, or this beautiful planet that we live in. So you can make this intention in your mind now, giving your practice a bit more of a focus for your energy to go toward. So examples are, I intend to love myself more completely. I intend to live a simpler and happier life. I intend to be grateful for so many blessings that I have. Or if it's for another, I intend to send love and peace to my friends. I intend to create more harmony in my relationships with my children or my parents. Any of these. Bringing your hands together at your heart. This hand formation is Anjali Mudra. It is literally inviting more love and more peace into that heart, into your center of your body. So palms are gently touching here. Going to begin this practice with our 3 deep breaths. On the inhale, moving the arms in a circle away from the body until the palms touch overhead. And then on the exhale, bringing the hands back to the heart and chanting Om if you wish. You can simply follow with the breath and the arm movements if you prefer that. So exhaling fully, hands a little tighter together. Begin. Inhale, arms wide. Palms touch and Om. Second deep breath in. And last one, big inhale, arms wide. Holding the hands steady at the heart. Feeling the beautiful vibration of Om, or simply the opening from those deep breaths. Inhale, hands tighter together. Exhale, arms relaxed at your side. We're going to move up to a standing position to start off our Surya Namaskar flow. So taking your time to get here, remember this is a restorative practice, so no stress, no strain, taking it very gentle on yourself today. All right guys, so we are all meeting at the front of our mats. Got my mat turned at a bit of an angle so you can kind of see the formation of every pose a bit better, I hope. I will still be giving you verbal guidance and everything, so my hope is that obviously my cues and what I say to you will be enough. You don't have to turn your neck to look at the video. You can bring your focus to your body and what you're doing in this sequence. So again, this is a restorative day, so be very, very gentle with your body at all times throughout this practice. And just taking a few moments here, finding your first Tadasana. This is mountain pose, so your feet about hip-width distance apart, parallel to each other, pointing to the front of the mat. I want you to scoop that tailbone down. Think about tucking that pelvis forward and then opening those shoulders, letting the arms relax down at the side to begin with the palms facing forward, chin slightly dropped, and then bringing your hands together at the heart, finding that Anjali Mudra with your hands again. Settling here for just a few breaths. Beginning and ending every Surya Namaskar set with Tadasana, with this mountain pose of stillness and sturdiness. One more inhale here. And exhale. And open the eyes. To begin, you're going to inhale the arms wide, just opening that up. Fingers are spread wide, looking slightly up at the sky. Holding here for a breath. And then on the exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Nice and easy. On your next inhale, bend the knees slightly. You're going to swoop the arms up, coming in all the way, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up in the air. Drop the shoulders down, giving some space around the neck here. Just holding here. And then moving your fingers in your hands, warming up those wrists a little, making some circles, preparing for any kind of weight that we put into our hands. And then palms facing each other again. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge at the hips. Draw the arms in a straight line forward, all the way forward fold. This is our first Uttanasana here, so just let the body hang, let the torso relax towards the front. Not putting any strain here, just letting the backs of the legs start to open up gently, arms dangling, head relaxed down. On that next inhale, I want you to come up about halfway. Think about rolling the shoulders up to the ears and then squeezing the shoulder blades together. Your arms are dangling in front of you. You're looking down at the ground. Your dristi, your eye gaze, is down at the ground in front of your face. Keeping that neck nice and long. Think about pulling in the navel, pulling in the belly button, starting to wake up the belly button, wake up the stomach muscles. Strengthening our core, shoulder blades squeezed together. Inhale, exhale, return for just a moment to that Uttanasana. Just relaxing here in forward fold. Our next step is going to be a small step back on our left leg. This is just a very gentle, wide-legged stance. So pick up that left foot, step it back just a little here. Remember, we're doing a gentle session today. So nothing too drastic, making small movements. Your feet are hip-width distance apart. Your toes are pointed to the front. You can have your fingertips down to the mat for balance. Of course, if you don't reach, that's okay. Maybe you can have your hands resting on the front of that right leg or using a blocker, a hard back book. Just holding here, feeling that deeper stretch into the hamstring on our right leg. Try to have that back straight as possible. Again, pulling in the belly button, working the core. Bending that right knee slightly. Inhale, step the left foot forward, and exhale, fold. This is our next forward fold here, so we can bring a little bit of a motion into it, maybe walking the fingertips from one side and then holding in that twist before moving to the opposite side. Just bringing a little bit of a spinal twist work into this practice. Walking the hands over to the left and then back to the right. Couple more breaths here. Returning to center. And then bending the knee slightly to take any pressure out of the lower back. You're going to inhale, swoop the arms up, reverse swan dive. Palms face each other. Again, drop the shoulders down, giving that space. And from here, you're going to go into a slight cervical back bend. I just want you to remember, keep that pelvis tucked forward. And then just move the arms back slightly. You should feel no pressure at all in your lower back. If you feel any strain in your lower back, immediately come out of this and just go into your straight arm pose. And then try again, keeping the pelvis tucked forward, tailbone scoop down. Inhale, all the way up to straight arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms touch. Exhale to the heart. Coming back to that mountain pose and taking a few breaths with the eyes closed. Feeling that connection of all the four corners of the feet down to the ground. Last breath here. And then open the eyes. We're going to begin again with that wide arm. So open those arms up. Feel like you're pushing through water, drawing them back, looking up at the sky. Exhale. Bring them back to the heart. Bend the knees. Inhale. Swoop the arms up. Moving to that upward stance for a moment. Dropping the shoulders down. And now see if you can do a little bit more of a cervical back bend. Pelvis is kept tucked forward. Just opening the shoulders and chest. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Draw the arms down, all the way forward fold. Let your body hang here. If you want to kind of work a little bit into that lower back, bending the elbows, making space between the ring finger and the pinky finger, and then tucking into the little crooks of the elbows, the bend in the elbow. Tuck that space between the ring fingers and pinky fingers. This is an arm bind that brings the focus to the lower back and letting your head hang here. Face is relaxed. Deep breaths. And on your next exhale, release the arms back down in front of you. We're going to move to our half lift. So Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, shoulders roll up to the ears, shoulder blades squeeze together. You can hold with the arms dangling in front here, or if you'd like, you can bring the hands to the front of the legs, either of course below or above the knees. You never push on those knee joints back, right? So pushing a little into the fronts of the legs, just helping open up the chest a bit more. Navel is pulled in, looking down at the ground. Inhale, release the arms. Exhale, draw the hands down to the mat. We're stepping the right foot back now, and just to that small split. So step the right foot back, pulling that right heel all the way flat to the ground behind you. Your feet are parallel and hip width distance apart. You're using your fingertips here on the mat for balance, or if you do need a block, book, or bringing to the top of that left shin. Just to hold yourself steady here, feeling that deep release into that left hamstring. Try to have the spine straight, maybe giving yourself some more height if you need. Looking down at the ground, inside of that left foot, keeping the neck long. And then bending that left knee. Inhale, step the right foot forward, and exhale, fold. This is the last Uttanasana we're really going to hold in. So if you like, you can go ahead and grab the back of the legs. Grab at the calves, the ankles, or maybe just at the hamstrings, but never pushing on those knees again. Grabbing the back of the legs somewhere, and then using your hands help pull you deeper, Uttanasana. Letting the head hang. Elbows can come out if you're deep into that fold. And then releasing the hands, bending the knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rise all the way up. Palms face each other. And for this last one, we're going to just do a little ankle calf strengthener, just coming up on the feet, up on the tippy toes, looking up at the sky. Palms together. Exhale, back to the heart. Settling in here for a moment before we move to our next set, taking a few breaths. Last, to the second set of Surya Namaskar. So what we're going to do on this one, we're going to be moving with our breath. We're going to be stepping that foot back into that wide-legged split a little deeper, but still keeping to that basic sequence that we have built from the first set. Our third set is going to be with a few extras in there. But this will be just a little bit faster because we do want to get a bit of a cardio kind of warming up here as well as we're doing these little poses. So if you at all lose the sequence, you lose the flow, just take a second. Don't try to rush and go through things too quickly. Take a second, come back when you can. All right. So from Tadasana, Anjali Mudra, hands at the heart. Feet are hip width distance apart. Shoulders open, tailbone scooped under. Last breath here. Open the eyes. Inhale, arms open wide, fingers spread, looking up at the sky. Exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Bend the knees. Inhale, swoop the arms up. Going into that cervical back bend. Exhale, hinging at the hips, drawing the arms forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, stabilizing yourself here on the fingertips. Stepping that left foot back into a bit of a wider split if you can. Holding here for one breath. Bending that right knee, stepping that left foot forward, and exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, rise up, palms touch, exhale, back to the heart. Just taking 2 breaths here. One more breath. Open the eyes and begin. Inhale, arms wide, looking up at the sky. Exhale, back to the heart. Bend the knees. Inhale, swoop the arms up, moving into the upper back bend. Exhale, draw the arms forward, down to Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, hold yourself, and then stepping that right foot back, going into that wider split, really settling in here for a breath. Bending that left knee, stepping the right foot forward, exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, rise up, palms touch, exhale to the heart. Staying here for 2 breaths. Preparing for this final set, Surya Namaskara. Still moving a little quicker, but also with some extras. Last inhale, and full exhale. Begin. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, return to your center. Bend the knees, inhale, rise up. Upper back bend. Exhale, hinging at the hips, arms drawing all the way, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bring the fingertips down, stepping back into that wide split on the left leg. Now here's where we're going to have this pillow that I talked about earlier. Go ahead and bring that pillow down so it's going to be underneath the left knee and left shin if it's a longer pillow. When you have that pillow ready, you're going to start to bend both knees, bringing that left knee, left shin down to the mat with the left foot pointed back. The right knee is going to be over that right ankle, so you have that 90-degree angle here. All right, keeping the fingertips down. I was just sitting up to show you that knee, but keep those fingertips down for stability. You can either stay here if you're not feeling very balanced, it's okay, but if you can, pushing into that left shin, try to take the weight out of the left knee, pushing into all parts of the right foot, and then drawing those arms forward and up. Like a warrior one kind of arms here, drop the shoulders down, and from here you can either stay with your arms up, or you can do a little bit of shoulder work. We can draw the arms behind the body, clasping the fingers behind the back, like this, and then pulling the hands, letting the torso rock forward, pulling those hands up to the air, up to the sky, working into those shoulders. If this is ever too much for you, just grabbing the opposite elbows behind your back. It still doesn't open her across the chest, but it's less intense on the wrist, so if you do have wrist problems, wrist pain, just going into the elbow grab is a good substitution. Releasing the arms. Inhale, swoop the arms all the way back up, warrior one. And from here we're going to do a little twist. So inhale here, exhale. Right hand moves forward, left hand moves back. You're looking over towards that left hand, towards the back. Just getting another twist here. Inhale, back to the top. And here's the difficult one. Twist to the other side, pulling that belly button, squeezing that core. Fingertips are pulled in opposite directions. You're looking over towards the right hand. Inhale, come back up to the top. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Gently pick up that left knee, tucking the left toes under, moving the pillow away from the mat. And we're going to finish the sequence. So you already have that bend in that front leg. Go ahead and step that left foot forward and exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, swoop the arms up. Palms touch, exhale to the heart. Taking that moment to move the pillow so that you can reach it for that right leg. Bring it kind of towards the side and the back of the right side of the mat. All right, and then finding that Tadasana towards the front of the mat. One more breath here, feet fully grounded to the earth. And then open the eyes. Inhale, arms wide, looking up. Exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Bend the knees. Inhale, swoop up. Urdhva Hastasana, going into that cervical back bend. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Coming down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down to the mat, maybe just on the fingertips, that's fine. And then stepping the right foot back into a wide-legged split. Grabbing for that pillow, bringing it underneath the right knee, the right shin. When that pillow is ready for you, gently lower the right knee down, pushing into the shin here, taking the weight out of the right knee joint. Toes pointed back on the right foot, and then the left knee is stacked over the left ankle. All right, kind of getting a little opening into the hip flexors, of course, very important. And when you're ready, if you did come up on the other side, go ahead and try that again. We want to bring balance in our life and throughout our body, of course. So, inhale, swoop those arms up to warrior one, arms dropping those shoulders down, not pinching our neck here. Shoulders are relaxed down. So from here, we're going to go into a little arm bind again. So if you did that clasping of the hands, you want to do that again if it felt really good, you can do that. Grabbing the opposite elbows if you like. All right, so whichever one you prefer here, we're going to lower the arms, bring it back to that clasp, or even namaste hands behind the back, where you bring the palms together. You can go into that if you like. Whichever is available to you. Then bending over that front leg. Getting an opener here into the chest, looking down at the ground, pressing into that left foot and the right shin. And then release the hands, swoop the arms all the way back up again. Crazy hair today. All right, going into that little twist, kind of what I call helicopter arms when I teach kids. So inhale, drop that left hand forward, right hand opens up to the back. And then you look over that right shoulder. Hold here, one more breath. And then inhale, swoop the arms up. Now go to the opposite side. Left arm comes back, right arm to the front. Feel like little invisible strings are pulling on those fingertips, looking over that left shoulder towards the back. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands come down to the heart, to the mat. Picking up that back knee, releasing the pillow off to the side. And now we're going to finish up our sequence. So inhale, step the right foot forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise up. Palms touch. Exhale, to the heart. Finding that Tadasana. Finding a few moments to ground yourself here. Feeling a gentle release, perhaps into the shoulders, the hips, the spine, warming up the body, preparing for the poses that we will hold in for this rest of this practice. Taking a drink of water if you like, or just holding in Tadasana. next part is going to be balancing. I'm going to be turning a little to the front and talking you through our choice today, which is Garudasana, Eagle Pose. All right. So release. And then just to kind of talk you through it here, this is Eagle Pose. It is a very nice balancing pose, obviously. With all the movement of Surya Namaskar, I think it's always nice to kind of come in and settle into a balancing pose and give your body like this time to absorb all that movement of Surya Namaskars. So when I do balance pose, the same advice goes for every balance pose. You want to find a focal point, something that your gaze can be locked on. It's going to be something that doesn't move, so not me, not this, not anything that's going to move on you. It could be a spot on the floor. It can be a water bottle maybe off to the side, but something where your head can be faced forward and slightly down, okay? I'm going to show you the Garudasana that I recommend for restorative. So when we go into this, it's a bit of balance, but we're still going to keep the big toe on our non-standing foot connected. If you want to challenge yourself, if you're feeling a little bit of that, you can always raise that toe off the ground, but I am going to show it for a restorative-minded sequence, all right? So we're going to be starting on our right leg. I'm going to be your mirror throughout this. So we're going to start on the right leg being our standing leg. Stepping that left foot back, wiggling the toes, wiggle, wiggle, on the right foot. And then think about like a zipper. You're zippering from the pinky toe, the small toe, all the way down to the big toe. So trying to spread those toes. Try to make your feet as wide as possible. And then step the left foot beside the right. Pick up the heel on the right foot, pull it back. So you're really thinking about making that platform with the standing foot. So your right foot is nice and grounded here. You're going to start to bend a little into that right knee. Coming up on the toe, big toe of the left foot. And then bringing your hands to the heart, to the hips. I love the heart so much, I want to bring my hands to my heart all the time, apparently. All right. So when you're ready, when you're feeling very balanced, find your focal point. Okay, find that spot you're going to look at for the rest of this pose. So finding that spot, giving your mind something to focus on. And then bending a little bit more into that right knee. Pick up the left leg and cross it over the right, bringing that left big toe to the outside of the right foot, down to the ground. Like I said, if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can keep that left toe off the ground and just go into that balancing pose, whichever you feel like today. When that left big toe is connected, giving you the stability here, squeezing those thighs together, I want you to bring your arms out in front of you with your palms facing up. We're going to go into Garudasana arms now. So your left leg is crossed over, which means that your right arm will cross over. It's the opposite. So cross the right arm over the left arm, making like a letter X, and then bend the elbows. First, bring the backs of the hands together, or if you have the wrist flexibility, bringing the palms together, going into that arm bind. Holding here, and then perhaps sit down a little deeper in your seat and raise those arms up higher. Feel like someone's pulling on the tips of your fingers. Elbows are raising up to the sky. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs. One last breath here, sitting a little lower if you can. And then inhale, rise up. Release the arms, release the legs, walk it out. Walk it out. All right. Wiggle the hips a little if you're feeling tight in those hips. And now, of course, we have to move to the opposite side. So now we're going to be standing on the left leg. So left leg is down, step the right foot back, wiggle the toes on the left foot, and then zipper them down, starting with the small toe, zipper them down to the mat, getting that big toe wide, and now stepping the right foot beside the left. Pick up the heel on the left foot, keeping the ball of that left foot down, pull that heel back, spreading open the foot. When you feel nice and secured here, the good platform, slightly bend that left knee, bring the hands to the hips. Find your focal point, find that spot on the floor in front of you. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift up that right leg, right knee, and cross it over the left. Either bringing that toe down to the mat, outside of the left foot, or if it's available to you and you do want to go into this, you can go ahead and lift up that left toe and just cross the legs over. Whichever you feel like today. Sitting down a bit deeper, trying to be careful that that standing knee, your left knee, doesn't go beyond the toes of your left foot. You kind of have to feel this and think of like a squat. Sit your booty back. Bringing the arms out in front of you. So now our right leg is crossed over the top, and now that means that your left arm will be crossed over. So crossing that left arm over the right, bending the elbows, coming into your hand bind, whether it's the back of the hands together or the palms. And now draw the hands up towards the sky, lifting the elbows, sitting back, squatting back here, squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes. Feeling that nice opening across our shoulder blades. If it's ever too much for you, gently come out, but hold the arms if you can at least. Last breath here. Inhale, rise up and release. Release the arms, shake out the shoulders, shake out the hips, do a little shake. Let all that out. Very nice. Take a sip of water if you're like me and you want to get a little bit of hydration. All right, next we're moving into a standing lateral bend, Tadasana. So to do this, you want to, little mental imagery, you could think of it, you are a tree. It's like swaying palm tree. You're a tree in the wind. I'm reminded of that Jodie Foster movie, Nell, I think is what it was called, Tree in the Wind or something. So you're going to be bending a little bit, but only in a lateral bend. So I'm going to turn to the side. I want you to see this. When you go into a lateral bend, you want to make sure you're not collapsing forward, collapsing back, putting pressure on the lower back here. The focus is into the sides of our body. So when you go into this, I want you can use that image of being between two walls, maybe panes of glass, and then think about bending in that straight line, okay? So when we do this, it's very important that you're very mindful. You're not collapsing forward or back. You need to be very careful with yourself. So there are different levels to go in with this. I'm going to show them all to you. We'll walk through them while we're doing the pose. To start, bring the feet together, parallel to each other. Arms are relaxed at your side. Taking a breath here. And then bringing the hands at your hips. You're going to go over to the right side first here. So inhale here. Hands stay on the hips for the first level. Exhale, start to hinge at the hips. Just kind of cocking over to the side here. This is first level. If this feels good, you can always stay here. Second level is bringing that right hand to the outside of that right leg and feel like somebody's pulling on the fingertips in the right hand. Kind of helps keep you in straight line too if you're not sure if you're doing this right. The arm down the leg trick is a really good one. So you can kind of hold here. Last level, if it's available to you, you're going to swoop that left arm up to the sky and over. Left palm is face down to the ground. You can either look down at the mat, getting a little twist in the neck that way, or neutral, looking forward, or even up at the sky if you have that balance. Pulling that left shoulder back, squeezing the right side of the body, opening the left. Last breath here. Bringing that left hand down to the hip. Inhale, rise up. Hands together at the heart. Taking a breath here. Bringing the hands back to the hips. Moving over to the left side now. So hands at the hips, shoulders open wide, pelvis tucked forward, legs squeezed together. Inhale, exhale, tilt over to the left. Keeping here, or if you'd like, draw that left arm down, kind of the IT band in your leg here, bringing that palm flat against your leg, helping keep you in one line, again between those two walls, those two panes of glass. Or final level, releasing that right arm, swooping it up and all the way over. Again, putting your head where you like, as long as you're being very gentle with the neck, looking down or forward or up at the sky. Think about making sure that right shoulder is open, peeled open. Squeezing in the core. This is a bit of the transverse abdominals are getting a squeeze. Yay, abdominal muscles getting a workout here. Always want a stronger core. 2 more breaths here. And on your next exhale, bringing that right hand back to the hip, and then using that to help guide you back up. Hands coming back to the heart. Taking a breath here. Next, we're going to be moving to a seated position for the rest of the next part of the sequence. So you're going to gently come down to your mat, sort of in the middle of the mat, facing long ways is what's best. So taking one last breath here before you move down to seated. All right, guys, so you should be on the mat here in a seated position to begin. This is another place where our pillow can come in handy if you really want to make this a nice, comfy, gentle part of your sequence. You can bring that pillow and bring it beneath the booty. Gives you a little bit of height too, it's kind of fun. But I'm going to go without. I prefer to be without a pillow for this part of the practice, but you are always welcome to grab that cushion if you like. Okay, so we're going to be moving into butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. To do this, you're going to use your hands very gently, guide the bottom of your feet together. Now when we go into butterfly pose, I see a lot of people struggling so hard to get those feet close to the groin. Their knees come way up, they're hunched over, they kind of look like they're, like a turtle, like all crunched in. So that's not where you want to be. If you need to, bring the feet out a little bit more, it's kind of more like a diamond pose, that's fine. The important thing in butterfly pose, I cannot emphasize enough, is that you are able to keep that chest open. You're able to sit up straight, and you want to be able to be pressing those feet together. This is a really great knee stretch, all those ligaments around the knee and the patella. So you really want to be able to kind of get the benefit of this pose. It's not important how close your feet are, okay? So wherever you are, know that the more you work on it, the closer you're going to get to that final beautiful butterfly pose, right? So when you're in butterfly, make sure that you have those sit bones down on the ground, that you're able to sit up nice and tall, opening the chest, pressing the feet together, getting that stretch into the knees, okay? We're going to go into a great restorative pose, that little series. It's the cat-cow stretches. So you're very familiar with these probably if you've done yoga a bit. They're great. You usually do them on your hands and knees, but that can kind of be a lot of pressure on the wrist and the knees, right? So this is a nice alternative to doing them on hands and knees, is you can actually sit in butterfly and get the same movement in the spine, that kind of undulation of your spine, without that pressure on the knees and the wrists. So really nice alternative. I love bringing it into a restorative sequence with my students. So when you're doing this, I want you to bring your hands to the front of the shins. This will give you the grip that you need to really help open that chest up and also to curve it forward. So turning a little to the side so you can kind of see how my arms move, how my shoulders move on this cat-cow movement. Hands are at the front of the shins. When you inhale, you're going to roll the shoulders up and then open that chest. Draw the heart forward, looking up at the sky, sticking the chin up. Exhale, rolling the shoulders up and down, curving the back, pulling the belly button in, dropping the chin. Moving here, inhale to the front, open up the chest, looking up. Exhale, curving that spine, pulling that chin down, pulling in the belly. Again, inhale, moving forward to cow pose, chin sticks up. Exhale, round the spine. Doing 2 more of these here. Inhale, pull forward, looking up. Exhale, like a scared Halloween cat, rounding the spine. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Coming back to neutral spine, settling here. I'm going to turn my body back to the front now that you've seen that movement, facing you again. From here, we're just going to do a small arm cross to kind of work into the shoulder. So keeping that butterfly pose, we're really working on the butterfly. I want you to bring your left arm over at the front, going towards the right hip. And then that right arm will open up, palm facing back. Draw behind the body, and you want that right hand coming towards the top of the left leg. It's okay if you're not as flexible. If your arm only comes right to the small of your back, that's fine. Just keep the back of the hand against the back. Back. All right, and you'll find over time that your arms are moving a little further, a little further, a little further. Going into this little simple arm movement, but it really helps open the shoulders a bit. Try to make sure that your chest stays open. You're sitting up straight, not crunched in. Taking a breath. Slowly release the arms all the way up. Inhale, palms face each other. Bring the hands together and exhale them back down the center line of the body, all the way to the tops, fronts of the shin. All right, going into our second set of cat-cows. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, pull the chest forward, looking up at the sky. Exhale, curve, pull the belly in, drop the head. Inhale, moving forward to cow pose. Exhale, rounding the spine to cat. Doing 3 more of these. Inhale, really exaggerated movements here. Exhale, getting the full benefit of the cat-cow movement. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, guys. Inhale, pull forward, pulling open that heart, shining it forward. And exhale, drop the chin. Inhale to neutral spine. And now we're going into the arm cross in the opposite direction. So right arm comes across the front of the body towards that left hip. Draw that left arm so the palm's facing to the back. Bending into that elbow, swooping it behind the body, coming towards the top of the right leg. Again, don't feel bad if you can't reach all the way across. It's all about your body, your limits, and just knowing that every time you challenge them, you go beyond that little comfort zone and hold. You are opening your body. You are teaching your body how to be more flexible in a respectful manner so that you will have long-term benefits and avoid injuries. Okay? So holding here, one last slow breath. And then gently release both arms, swooping all the way up, palms facing each other. Bringing the palms together and exhale. Bringing the hands back on top of the legs. Enjoying these last few moments in butterfly pose. Next, we're going to be moving to our bellies for the prone part of our practice today. All right, guys, so slowly release ourselves to the mat. Just coming down to our bellies as gently as we can, having this pillow off to the side for now. We're going to be moving to Sphinx pose. So if you're familiar at all with the Egyptian sphinxes, you know how they kind of look from the front, right? So we're going to be imagining the sphinxes of Egypt when we do this pose. It's very fitting. So you're coming to your belly. Your legs are zippered tight together. Your shoulders are going to be over those elbows. So you can kind of look at the arms and imagine grounding the elbow down. A nice way to kind of know the distance that you should have in your elbows is to bring the hands, so you can kind of turn a little sideways so you can see this, bringing the hands across, and the fingertips should be on the outside of that elbow. Really pulling the arms apart here to make sure that you've got the correct width between the arms, okay? And then when you have this, you keep the elbows grounded and bring the palms flat to the ground in front of you. So I have to turn back to the front now. So finding that distance in the elbows. Elbows are under the shoulders. Forearms pressing into the mat, hands are open wide. This is a restorative practice, so anyone that has had some spinal pain or injury, this is a nice gentle back bend for you. You can make this very relaxing or very more active. It's up to you. So relaxing, just holding here, letting yourself settle here, looking forward, dropping the shoulders down, legs zipper tight. If you want to make it a bit more active, you can imagine gripping the mat with your hands, pulling yourself forward, shining that heart forward, pulling the chest forward, feeling it more opening into the shoulders, squeezing the lower back, feet are pointed back. Hold here. And then to gently release, you're going to bring the arms a little closer to the body, dropping the right head, right side of the head, down to the mat. Here. And then releasing your arms by the body with your palms facing up. Just releasing that back bend. Being very therapeutic with our bodies today. And then moving up one more time, bringing the hands gently under the shoulders at first, pushing up slightly, walking the forearms, finding that width of your arms here, doing our little trick with the fingertips to the outside of the elbows. Elbows underneath the shoulders, and then bringing the palms down to the ground. Now you have the option of just doing Sphinx pose. If you're trying to keep this extremely gentle for yourself, just stay in Sphinx for the second set. If you want a little bit of a challenge, you're going to do a low plank from here, and that's just going to kind of strengthen the whole body. Stay on the forearms though for this. So if you want to stay in Sphinx, go ahead, stay in Sphinx. Pulling yourself forward a bit, perhaps, if you want to bring focus into the shoulders. Or if you want to go into a little bit more of an intense kind of a moment, you're going to bring the palms, keep the elbows where they are, bring the palms together, kind of interlace the fingers, and then pushing into the forearms. Tuck your toes under with your feet hip-width distance apart. And on the exhale, lift up those hips, coming into a low plank. Pushing into the forearms, looking down at the ground. A little bit behind the hands, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core. Releasing down to the mat whenever you're ready on an exhale. And when you come down to the mat, whether in low plank or Sphinx, gently release yourself like you did before, bringing the hands down. Lowering the left cheek now to the mat, turning the head so that the left cheek comes down, and then the arms relax at the side of the body, palms facing up to the sky, holding here, taking a few breaths. Bringing the hands back under the shoulders. We're going to move into a child's pose actually from here. So pushing up on the hands and knees for a moment. Walking the knees forward. And then opening the knees wide, keeping the big toes touching. Sit back towards the heels. We're going into Child's Pose 2, and we're going to do a little side-to-side movement here. So this is a really nice way of kind of gently working the spine a bit more. So starting in our normal Balasana, our normal Child's Pose with the hands forward. Forehead relaxed down, face relaxed. Sitting back on those heels, really settling the hips in here. And then, picking up that head slightly, start to walk the hands to one side, maybe to the left side first, as far as you can to hold it. Very important that you're able to hold this. And then drop that head, relax the head down. Feeling a nice opening along the right side of our back, relaxing the head. Still trying to keep those hips nice and open, pushing into the shins of the legs, big toes are touching. And then push into the hands, walk your hands back a little bit towards the body. And now we're moving to the other side, so kind of gently walk the hands crisscross, crossing those hands over one at a time. All the way over to the opposite side where you can hold. Hands are open, grip down to the ground, and now drop the head again. So many injuries occur to the spine. You get a little injury, causes some tightness, and then because you don't work on it and release that, it actually causes more tension, which can lead to deeper injuries, long-term injuries. So spinal flexibility is vital throughout our lives. Pressing into the hands, gently come up slightly. Walking the hands, crisscrossing them over again in front of you. When you're centered here, walk the hands back towards the torso. Bringing the knees together. Sitting on your feet. Holding here for a moment with the hands relaxed. Next, we're going to be moving on to our backs for the final part of our practice today. So taking one last breath here. Okay guys, so moving on to our backs now. You can kind of do like a little mermaid kind of things, dropping over to one side if you like, bringing the legs to the front. Walking yourself towards the mat. You want to be able to lie down fully on the mat. Bringing yourself here, maybe taking a sip of water if you like. There you go. And do go ahead and grab your pillow and put it up near the top of the mat, because we are going to finish with Shavasana. And Shavasana is really nice for you to put that pillow under your head just to let you fully relax a bit more. Or if you want, you can always put them under your knees if you prefer that. I usually actually do that because I love cushioning my beautiful knees. So wherever you want that pillow for that final Shavasana, kind of think about that now, okay? And then coming down to the mat, just very slowly, a little bit of core work if you're feeling it here, just releasing yourself gently to the mat. Release the legs down for a moment. All right. So next we're going to be doing is some reclined twist, some supine twist here, okay? So making sure if you have a lot of hair like me that it's up so that the back of your head can connect to the ground, giving you a nice base here for your head. And then bending your knees one at a time, bringing your feet to the ground so that the heels, you could reach the heels with the fingertips, that small index finger here beside you, okay? So level one of this reclined twist, you're going to keep the knees together and then just let the knees fall over to one side. Stack the knees, flex the feet just to make sure you get those knees kind of in a good alignment. And then the arms, excuse me, pillow, the arms are going to move perpendicular from the body with the palms facing down. That's level one. Stay here if you like this. Level 2 is you're going to extend out the left leg straight, keeping that left foot flexed, and then cross over to the right. Trying to bring that right knee over. Again, arms perpendicular, palms face down. Stay there, or bringing the feet down to the ground. Level 3, you're going to actually pick up the right leg, cross it over the left, and now bring the knees over. So it's a twist all to the same side. It just depends on what feels good for you, what is available to you today. In any twist, very important that your arms are perpendicular, your palms are facing down, and then you're going to, if you're settled here and you can hold here, try to keep that right shoulder as flat to the ground as possible. The lower back, of course, is going to pick up. That's fine, but try to keep the shoulders grounded, and then turning your head in the opposite direction of your legs. So if you're like me, you're turning your head to look towards your right hand. Settling here, letting that work into your back, maybe a little into your hips, depending on what level you're at with this twist. And then pushing into the arms, left arm especially. Inhale, rise the knees up. Uncross them if you are at level 3. And then just let the bottom of the feet come together. Open the legs, relax the arms by your side. Just making a nice diamond pose here. Supine diamond. Letting that groin relax for a minute. And we're going to move to the opposite side. So using your hands, close up the legs, close the book. And then you can go immediately to whatever level that you went to on the left side. Go ahead and do the same on the right. If it's too tight on that side, you can come back down a level. But it's best to try to stay at the same on both sides. Kind of bring that body a bit more into balance. So again, level 1, knees together. Tipping over to the right side. Palms face down, looking left. Level 2, right leg extended. Left leg crosses over. Again, looking towards the left hand. Or, of course, level 3, picking up that left leg, crossing it over the right, squeezing the legs together, flexing the feet, and then dropping it to the right. You're going to see I'm really working at keeping that left shoulder grounded. Fingers spread open wide, looking over towards that left hand. Taking just 2 more breaths here, guys. Really settling in. If it feels really good, you can always just pause the video and hold it, or just stay here while we move on. It's up to you. Gently coming out of this, using your arms, help draw the knees back up, releasing that leg bind if you were in it. Releasing the arms, and then going again to a wide-legged kind of diamond formation for a moment. Hands can be relaxed on top of the inner thigh or just relaxed to the side. Good. Using your hands here, close the knees back together. And we're going to be moving into Ananda Balasana, which is happy baby. I just love that name. So we're going into a happy baby pose. So again, very restorative, very nice. If anyone out there has some hip issues and like tightness in their hips, this is a great gentle way to work those hips, get that range of motion back. So to do this, you're going to go first to Apanasana, which is kind of like hugging the knees in. So pulling in one knee at a time, wrapping the arms around, Apanasana, squeeze the knees in, and then releasing the hands for the outside of the feet. If this ever feels like it's too much, you can grab a yoga strap if you like, Or you can even bring the arms inside the legs and use those peace fingers to wrap around the big toe. So finding a place where you can hold and kind of play in this pose a bit, all right? So Ananda Balasana hands are normally on the outside of the feet. And then you start to kind of kick into your hands and open your knees up wide. This is why I love this pose, is because you really think about babies just don't care. They're just happy and they're playing around. So you want to open the knees up here and then maybe even rock a little side to side. It's a very play pose kind of thing. When I was teaching kids in Japan, it would just be hilarious because they really love this, you know. They didn't want you to call them a baby, but I think they still like to act like one. So it was all fun. You can kind of rock side to side, getting a little spinal massage here as well. It's kind of fun. If you fall all the way over, like my kids would do a lot, I think they totally love that part. If you fall all the way over, it's okay. Just kind of laugh at yourself, and then you use one hand to help bring you back. It happens. Some people get really into that rocking and then they fall over. All right, so really opening those knees up, squeezing into the hips. Playing here a bit, wrapping those big toe with the fingers, pulling the feet wide. Good, release the hands, and now bring the legs together for just a moment, pushing the feet all the way up to the sky. Viparita Karanis, legs up the wall. It's a nice gentle little inversion. Help draw some of that blood flow out of the legs, pressing the tailbone into the ground. And then to finish off our practice today, you're going to bring the arms by the body. You're going to start to slowly lower the legs. You can just gently bend the knees if you need to and bring the feet down if this is too much, but you can get that last little few moments of abdominal work if you like. So starting from Viparita Karani, turn my body so I'm on my mat again, and then start to slowly lower the legs down. Hands pressed into the mat, keeping your tailbone down to the ground, engaging the core muscles. Gently and slowly, take it easy here. You're almost there. Hold, releasing it. And then when you reach the mat, slowly release. Opening the feet up wider than the hips, letting the toes fall open wide so that your feet are open, relaxed. Your arms come beside the body, palms facing up so your shoulder blades can fully connect. From here, if you want to use that pillow for your Shavasana, go ahead and grab it now. Either bringing it underneath your head, a lot of people like this, kind of cushioning our head here, letting us fully relax, or bringing it underneath the knees if you like. If you're feeling any pain in the lower back area, especially maybe there's some pinched nerve going on in there, go ahead and bring a pillow underneath the knees and it relieves the pressure on our lower back of it, letting you come into Shavasana more peacefully. In Shavasana, the objective is to relax as much as possible, giving your body, your mind, and your heart time to absorb all the work that's been done. It is your reward for the dedication of deciding to join here today. Obviously for all that physical work you did, but also it's a reward for that mental and emotional work that was done. Wanting to bring in all aspects of our being, finding peace and stillness in Shavasana. feeling free to stay longer in Shavasana if you like, as long as you're able to, as you want to. Or if you're ready to come up, start to move the fingers and the toes a little, making circles with the wrist and the ankles, circles in the opposite direction. And then bending the knees one at a time to bring the feet close to the glutes, down on the ground. Next, returning to that last Apanasana, squeezing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a big, beautiful last hug here. And then on the exhale, rolling over to the right side so that your right hip and your right shoulders come down to the mat. Knees stacked on top of each other. Left hand in front of the torso on the ground. And then pushing into that left hand and the right arm. Help bring yourself up to a final seated position. Keeping your eyes closed, just letting the mind stay as quiet as possible. Reaching for that pillow, grabbing it, putting it underneath your seat if you like. Getting into a gentle cross-legged position for this final moment here. Arms are relaxed at the side. And then if you created an intention for your practice today, bring that intention up in your mind again. Feeling deep gratitude for all of the work that you chose to do today. Giving yourself this time to improve not just your muscles, your flexibility, your cardio, but also to improve your well-being, your mental well-being, your emotional well-being. They are just as important, if not more important, than physical. So always feeling appreciation for every aspect of you. Bringing your hands together at the heart. Ending the practice as we began, of course, with our 3 deep breaths. On the inhale, moving the circle away from the body until the palms touch overhead. And then on that exhale, drawing the hands back to the heart and chanting Om if you wish. At the bottom of that 3rd exhale, just holding here, bowing slightly forward and finishing with Namaste if you like. So exhale, pressing the hands tighter together. Inhale, arms wide. Palms touch and Om. Second deep breath in. And last, big breath in, arms up. I send out love and thoughts of healing and comfort to all of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.